Paradise, the winners of the open boat final. Freshwater second, and Bilgola have taken third. Unofficially, that is, of course. And so the next event on the beat was the open sprint final. Lane 1, Broadhurst, Cronulla. Lane 2, Dewayana from Bronte. Lane 3, James from Thurrool. Lane 4, Meredith, Bronte. Lane 5, Turnbull, Cronulla. Lane 6, Harvey, North Cronulla. Lane 7, Schofield, Swansea, Belmont. And Lane 8, Schnabel from North Cronulla. Called forward, Dewayana the favourite, along with Turnbull from Cronulla and Harvey from North Cronulla, and getting out well out wide at Schnabel, who's got away to a big lead. Dewayana in 2, going through very quickly. Dewayana from Bronte, and across here Schnabel are going to the line. I'd say Dewayana has won it from on the outside. Schnabel very tight for third. Perhaps Broadhurst from Cronulla might have just taken third. And here's the replay, and you can see in lane 2, Dewayana really stretching out and very tight for second and third, maybe even Broadhurst from Cronulla after the great start that Schnabel got from North Cronulla on this side. I think that perhaps even Broadhurst got up to take second, with Schnabel of North Cronulla third. But no doubts about the winner, Dewayana, the Australian junior sprint and beach sprint champion from Bronte.
David Dewayana from the Bronte Club, a great winner in the open beach sprint. David, you've brought your fast track speed onto the beach.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ian. Yeah, there's a bit of similarities, but the beach is a hell of a lot harder than running on the track, I can tell you that.
The competitors harder, or is it just the sand?
It's just the sand, I think. I mean, you've got to back up 4 times for the heats, quarters and semis, where you don't have to do that on the track usually. Plus the competitors, they're all up there the whole time trying to beat you.
So what is your preference, the track, where you run very well, or the sand, where you run even better?
I think I do the sand for a bit of enjoyment. I get more out of running on the sand, I think.
Thank you, David.
No, thanks.
And so the open sprint final. First, David Dewayana from Bronte. Second, Paul Broadhurst from Cronulla. And third, Michael Schnabel from North Cronulla. They're about to go now in the open double ski final. Now this is an event, if the waves do get up, where we're likely to see anything happen. Certainly not going to be easy. We've got Avoca A, Southport A, Freshwater A, Warrnambool A, the entrance, Avoca C, Warrnambool B. It's the Owen brothers, Newcastle, Port Kembla, DYB, Maroubra, Coogee A and Bilgola A. So plenty of competitors and plenty of action coming up in this double ski final as they head off now out towards the sea. And look at this, there's a huge big set coming in out the back too. So by the time all of these double ski get out towards the white water, we could see anything happen there. You can just see one of the little waves start to take effect. Now wait till these big sets start to roll in now.
And interesting, David, a lot of the competitors today, including the current Australian champions, have elected not to go into this race because they've decided that the skis are worth too much money. Double skis are now worth something like $1,200, and they've decided that there's been too many skis broken and it just isn't worth the risk. And you can see a lot of the competitors there now have just stopped, and they're going to wait for a lull before they're going to try and have a go, because one wave down in the middle of these skis and they've just been crunching in half all day. Okay, it looks like the Newcastle pair are doing very, very well.
Is that Patterson and Lambert, is it?
Patterson and Lamberty are doing very well for Newcastle, and but still at this stage no one has got through the break, but we've got a nice lull now, and I'd say that these guys might be able to pull over a wave, and it could be a lead for DY. It looks like Bruce and Johnson from DY might be able to get out, and there we have a shot of the jet rescue boat has been cleaned up, and all the crewmen have fallen out. It's just floating out there on its own.
I think we actually had a camera in that boat, didn't we? I think we might have even actually had a camera in that boat, I'm quite certain. So it looks as if one of the waves has even taken its toll on the camera boat. So the rubber ducky getting in very quickly there to try and effect the save. And by my word, the fellows in the rubber ducky have had to work overtime today to try and keep everyone happy out there in the surf. But now they've got through the wash. They're starting to head out toward the Cairns. And it could well even be the DY combination who might be getting out there to a strong lead. It's a bit hard to tell from here, but I know that Mick's got the binoculars up, and Mike Smith, who's also up here helping us. We've been able to work out, is it Bruce and Johnson?
Yeah, so I'd say it's the DY crew of Bruce and Johnson, and in second place, the very, very strong crew from the entrance of Chris Bond and Peter Lang. Now, Chris Bond has been was the Australian single ski champion in 1985, and in 1986 he was runner-up. So he's a very, very accomplished ski paddler, and he's going to be going after them. And could possibly be the only crew that could give this DY combination a shake, because these guys have got through that first couple of waves and they're that far in front that it's going to be very, very hard to pull them back. In third place, we've also Owen from Warrnambool doing very, very well. But the DY crew, we can see now these guys, Bruce and Johnson, have not won too many races this season. They've been up there but haven't won a race yet, and it just goes to show you, David, that once you get into a surf situation, that anything can happen, and that's, I guess, why there are so many competitors competing in surf, because anyone has a chance of winning, particularly in conditions like this.
Well, we've seen Bruce and Johnson have already turned. It almost sounds like a legal firm, doesn't it? Or as they've made the turn and they're starting to head back towards the beach, but there's some more waves starting to brew up behind them, so this will be the interesting stage of the race. It's all right to open up a lead, but it's whether you can maintain the form down these big waves that are about to hit them.
Okay, Bruce and Johnson still in front from DY, but I know that Bond and Lang have closed that gap. They've pulled them back from something like 100 metres to about 30 or 40 metres, and they're now within striking distance. They're now within possibly a wavelength's distance, and if they can get a run on a wave, they may be able to come through and challenge for the win. But this DY crew have led from start to finish, and they'll be starting to look behind them now for a wave. There's a good front-on shot. Look at the timing of these guys. That's one of the most important things that they can do in a double ski race, is get that timing. Now you can see the guys have stopped. There's obviously a wave behind them. They think they can get it, and so they're waiting for it, and they're going to start paddling for it now. Obviously they think that they can come down this one quite easily, and they've gone for it. Now just out of shot on their right, or on the left of the screen, you'll see coming up in a second, there they are. It's Bond and Lang have come through, and as we predicted, they have come through on this wave. So again, here we go. Now these craft are harder to handle than most of the others, and if these guys can hang on, it'll be a top effort, but no, they're off. The wave hit them from behind, and they swung them around to the side, and they're off. And the Bond and Lang crew from the entrance have also come off, but they've finished up closer into the beach. You can see the entrance crew there, the white caps with the two blue stripes. It's Chris Bond in the front, just getting onto his ski now. Can they get on quickly enough, grab this wave, and come through to first place? Here's the wave coming up behind them. They've got about 20 yards to go. There's people on waves behind if they can get this one and take it through. But it looks like the Freshwater crew of Newman and Wilson are coming through. But Bond and Lang might just hang on. I think they'll hang on and they'll come across the line in front. And it's Bond and Lang crossing the line to take out, from the entrance, to take out the open double ski race, followed by the Freshwater crew, and then the looks like the Newcastle crew have come through on a wave to come in and take third place. So a fantastic finish there. Bond and Lang coming through on a wave at the back, actually falling off but holding it longer than the other crews and coming through to win it. The unfortunate DY crew, who led from start to finish, have finished out of a place, David.
Well, it's what we've been saying all day, though, Mick. It's all right to lead round the cans. It's all right to lead until the business end of the race, because these waves today have been so big at times that they really have knocked the craft around, and it really takes some outstanding competitors to really come through and win it.
That's right. And we can see the slow motion replay now. Now here's the DY crew coming down. What they're going to try and do is get down to the front of the wave before they start stroking. And the hard part is when the wash catches up to them and pushes them forward. They can see it hits them now, throws them out, puts the nose down, and off they go. Both of them launched out of their skis, and that was the end of them. Fortunately for them, the craft has maintained in one piece, and they've finished out of a place, but still with their ski.
Well, let's go down to Ian Tolan. I think he's got Chris Bond and Peter Lang with him from the entrance, the winners of the double ski.
Chris Bond and Peter Lang from the Entrance Club in New South Wales, winners of the open double ski here today. Magnificent effort. Certainly not your most spectacular win, but what a great one. Chris Bond.
Ian, I was really pleased with that. We won here last year in the double, and to take it out again is good. As you saw, we came off in the break there, and I thought for a minute that was that. But we managed to get back on, and the other crew had experienced a bit of trouble getting out too.
Peter Lang, tell us about when you come off. Is it teamwork getting back on?
Yeah, mate, it is, but when you're out in front and the sets come through, you just got no backing off. You just got to take them.
I don't want to know what Chris said to you at the back, but Chris, when you turned on that wave, it was a huge wave. Is your plan to paddle as fast as you can on that wave to get down the front?
Yeah, well, I think in a final, it's all right in a heat or a semi to let a couple of waves go past and just coast in sixth or something enough to get through the final. But in the final, you've got to come through first, and you've got to take whatever comes up. That's the breaks, and you do have to try for it, and I'm just glad we came through today.
Chris and Peter, a great win today at the double ski race. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
So the beach looks a little bit calmer at the moment. That they've managed to secure now the other boat, which had one of our camera crews in it, and some great work by the lifesavers who went out there. The rubber ducky did well initially to try and stabilise it, but then quite a few lifesavers went out there, and that's a magnificent job to secure that motorboat, the jet boat, and bring it back into shore. That really is, I suppose that's really why the lifesavers are on the beach anyway, to protect everyone.
Yeah, I guess that's, if you had to have an accident, I'd rather have it at a surf carnival than anywhere else, because there's hundreds of lifesavers around, and very, very nasty surf here today, and we've seen some dead set big accidents.
Well, now let's go on to the Open Malibu final, and this certainly is going to be an incredible event, really, because the big sets are starting to roll in, and this Open Malibu final is going to see quite a number of these competitors having great deal of difficulty in trying to get out through the wash. But let's go through the field for the Open Malibu final. Clint Rose from Freshwater, Dean Koski from Swansea Belmont, we've got Lunnery from Bulli, Fletcher from Fairhaven, Gilroy from Maroubra, Darren Mercer from Thirroul, Payne from Maroubra, Earl from Wombrel, Burge from Swansea Belmont, Craig Whittington, down here as an entry. I can't see Craig out there competing. Lambert from Wombrel. We've got Darren Schott from Maroubra, Gleeson from Wombrel, Bill Wiley from North Bondi, Borg from Wombrel, Beeves from Austinmere, Zalatel from South Maroubra, and McEnroe, I think it is, from Bondi. So let's have a look at some of these incredible athletes, you could call them, trying to get these Malibu boards out through this mess, which is the only way you could describe this white water that we're watching at the moment. Now, this is the event in particular where if they can get through the wash and can get clear of the big surf, where they can open up a big lead, and the first man to get through the wash, if he does get over it and get a lengthy break there, that's just about where the race is going to be won and lost, I would think.
Yes, I guess the Malibu board is one of the most difficult events to get out through the surf because they're slow. The skis can skip over and get out a bit quicker, and the surf race guys can dive under the waves, but the Malibu boards have trouble getting out because they're so much slower than the other events, and what they try and do is roll under the waves and get back to their knees as fast as they can. As you've already said, if somebody can get a little bit of a break, skip over a wave before the others get out, they can set up an enormous lead, because the others then might get hit by a couple of waves and not get out because the craft is so slow. And we can see here that Darren Schott in the open board race is one of the pre-race favourites. He's doing very, very well in the middle. He's trying to hang as close as he possibly can to the break where it's breaking, and so that he has some chance of skipping under a wave. We can see right at the centre of your screen is Dean Koski from Swansea Belmont, and he's going for it here now. And if he can just get over this wave, he has a big chance of skipping out and getting quite a substantial lead. Right behind him and on the bottom of your screen on the white board, he's got a blue hat with 2 red stripes, is the Maroubra competitor Darren Schott, and Darren is a very, very accomplished paddler. And over here on the other side we also have Wiley of North Bondi, and Clinton Rose from Freshwater is also doing very well. But at this stage it is still Koski and his enormous wave coming up now, and he's just got over the top of it, and look at the one behind. It is a huge, huge wave, and Koski is going to have to roll under it. Coming up now to the wave, and Koski's roll under it, and look at that for a stroke of luck. Darren Schott has gone right around to the side, and so is the Freshwater competitor of Clinton Rose. So these two guys have ended up the only two that have got out, and poor Dean Koski has been hit by that one, is the only one.
Well, certainly now that they've cleared that white water and the big sets, the race seems to be between these two at the moment, because they've opened up quite a sizable lead over the rest of the field as they head out towards the cans. And Darren Schott there with the blue trunks on the lighter of the 2 coloured boards from Maroubra, and Clinton Rose from Freshwater just in second place. Now you can see how much easier it is to get over the waves when they get clear of the whitewash, and it's certainly going to make it an interesting race. But as we've said, Mick, without sounding boring to everyone, the business end of the race is when they get to the cans and start the run in. because as we saw earlier in the Ironman event, it's not easy to sit on these Malibu boards, especially in surf, a surf that is as big as this.
That's right. You also heard Craig Rinnington say in his interview that he wanted to take it a little bit easier through the race because he still has to get in through the break. And it is scary out there today. The surf is 10 foot, and some waves are even bigger, and you can be held under for a long time on these waves, and competitors here are probably keeping in mind they want to save some energy and save some wind for when they come around the cans and heading back into the wave area, because it is some sort of a risk, and these guys, some of them would be quite scared even being out there. They cancelled all the cadet events today and a lot of the women events because because it's very, very difficult conditions. And you might notice those of viewers at home that have seen Malibu board races before, it's normally a much, much faster rating than what these guys are going out there today. They really are taking it nice and easy because they've got a big, big break on the rest of the competitors in the field, and so they're trying to conserve some energy for when they come around the cans and have to face those waves on the way back. But we've still got Darren Schott in the lead on the white board. Right behind him is Rose of Freshwater. Clinton Rose has been competing for a long time. Bill Wiley, the young North Bondi competitor, is a first-year senior. He'd be very happy with his position back in third place. And Dean Koski from Swansea Belmont, the competitor we saw, was really hit hard by that wave. You can see him there just coming up to the first can on the yellow board, and he's doing very, very well himself, and to come back from the wave that hit him, he would be very, very happy. And he's actually moving up quite well here. He's coming right up on the back of Wiley, and he may well be able to move into third place by the time they turn around the last can and head back into shore. But at this stage, it's Schott still in front, and I guess, David, he's going to start looking behind him pretty soon for one of these waves and hoping that he can hang on all the way in.
Well, that's what it's going to be all about from here to the line, isn't it? I mean, whoever gets the wave and can hang on all the way to the finish is probably going to be the winner of this event. It hasn't been easy all day, and now we can see Darren Schott there. I think that's Clinton Rose, isn't it, over behind him? And then you can see, not all that far away, just coming around the cans behind them, Dean Koski from Swansea Belmont and Bill Wiley from North Bondi. So they're the four competitors which you can see have got round all the cans, and it seems to me now with that big wave starting to brew up.
And look at the size of this wave, David. It is a monster. It's got to be a 10 or 12 foot wave at the back. We can see Koski on the right on the yellow board. Wiley's on it as well, and the other two competitors in front, they stop paddling and they're waiting for it. It's a huge wave out the back, and they're kneeling up. You can see Wiley also, Schott's on it, and so is Koski.
Three of them are on it. Koski's there. Wiley in the centre, I think, has come through and might have even got to the lead momentarily. And Schott was also on it.
What a wave. Now, the hard part now is when they come through and it breaks again on the inside break. Koski's doing well, he's saying, and just as we said it, he's come off now. He's had some terrible luck. He was hit earlier and now he's fallen off again. And it's Wiley and Schott on the left of your screen. Here he is now in picture. The two of these are going to fight it out. They're in the smaller part of the wave now, and they've got about 50 yards to go before they hit the can, before they hit the flag, and it'll be a great finish between these two competitors, a North Bondi competitor. Oh, and Wiley's come off. Now, he's held that wave out the back when it was 8 or 10 foot and fallen off when it was 1 foot. And he'll probably kick himself when he gets back to the beach. He's left it as an easy victory now for Schott to be able to paddle through, back up the beach to the flag, come in and take out the Open Malibu Board Championship at Freshwater Beach. So there he is, Schott of Maroubra, coming through to take out the Malibu board, and a fine effort for him to come through in these very, very difficult conditions.
So Darren Schott coming through to take out first position there in the Open Malibu, and Bill Wiley, he's exhausted as he comes through between the flags. But a good performance after he got on that wave to take second position, and Clinton Rose, the local boy from Freshwater, I think will probably come through and take third after really what has been an exhausting Open Malibu. But I think that Ian Toll might even be down on the beach, and he might have the winner of the Open Malibu. Let's go down and see if he's already caught up. And Darren Schott from Maroubra.
Darren Schott from the Maroubra Club, the winner of the Open Malibu. Your plan, Darren, to get out the back and make sure you just take the big ones, or what was actually going through your mind?
Well, on the way out, I just wanted to stay as far north as I could until the big ones come, and until I got a break. I got a lucky break. I went around the cans and I was just going to head north on the way in, but a wave just picked me up from nowhere, and I just had to ride it as far as I could.
So it's really a lottery out there. The waves take you and you don't take them.
Well, that was right. It just picked me up. I had to take it, otherwise I had no chance. There was two people already on it, so I just had to go it.
Do you worry about your equipment or yourself, or what do you do when you're coming down with those big waves, Darren?
Well, on the wave on the way in, it wasn't too hard. It sort of just washed down, and it wasn't sucking up or anything like that, so I wasn't really that worried. I was just worried when I started to bounce around. I thought I might fall off. That's about all.
Darren Schott, a great paddle today in the Open Malibu. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
It really was a magnificent performance, and I think of all the races we've seen today, Mick, probably one of the most deserving winners was Schott, because Darren led them through all the hard stuff, maintained it all the way, and then came round the boys, and then in the end Darren Schott came round in front of Bill Wiley from North Bondi, and Clinton Rose did come across and finish third in the end. But I suppose if we look at one of the unlucky competitors, it had to be Koski. He got knocked off his board on the way out, got knocked off again on the way in, but really you can't take it away from the winner, because he led all the way, he did all the hard work in the beginning, and was still there when the chips were down at the end. Yes, that's correct, and it was very difficult for them, as you saw, on the way out through the break. It was hard for them to come through all those waves, and once they got through, it was Schott right up there in the lead, and he paddled through, and they got on that wave, held it well, and came through for a good win. Also, the result of the double ski final, the entrance, of course, the winners, and we saw before that it was Chris Bond and Peter Lang who took out the double ski final. Well, I think the next event on the beach will be the single ski, and the competitors coming down towards the water's edge now to gain a start in the single ski. And looking through the field, we've got Rawlings from Southport, Bond from the entrance, so he's backing up so quickly after having just taken out the double ski final, so he's just about to be exhausted. Steve Wood from Manly's there, what a great paddler he is. Chris Guan from Avoca, Jim Newman from Freshwater, David Simpson from Maroubra, Bob Barry from North Wollongong, Darren Gear from Kira, and also, who else have we got in this race? Tim Moishman from Angel Sea, Peter Noble from the entrance, Ray Martin from Avoca, not to be confused with a man from another television station, and Blake Canavo from North Bondi. Mick, is there a particular favourite, or is the surf too big to nominate a winner in this? Yeah, I guess the surf is pretty big, and I don't think that it's going to be a cut and dry race. If it had been dead flat water, I'd say that Chris Bond might be the one who would take it out fairly comfortably, but in this sort of a surf, anyone can win. Chris Bond is the competitor from the entrance. He's a 1985 Australian single ski champion. He finished second last year in an incredibly close finish with Kelvin Graham from Southport, Queensland, and he's been one of Australia's best ski paddlers for many years, and is off immediately to a good start. And we have actually 3 or 4 of the competitors pull out in this final. We've only, in fact, got 9 competitors in it, and they've made their way off the start. It was a good, clean start. They've come through a few waves, and you can see a good overhead shot there from the helicopter as they're coming up to another broken wave. And it looks like some of these competitors might get a break here and be able to come right through. We've got a North Bondi competitor there doing very well. We have Steve Wood is out with a rudder problem. And the others are making their way through now, and it looks like if they get over this last couple of little waves, it will be a clean break for 3 or 4 of them. It looks like, not sure, can't quite pick up the cap of the person who's in front. Bond is in second place on the blue ski on this end of the screen. Have the winner for you in a second. It looks like Gear from Kira. It's the Kira cap in the Gold Coast in Queensland. It's Gear from Kira in Queensland. Now, he's made the trip down for this carnival as well, and he's been hotly pursued by Chris Bond from the entrance, and I dare say that we might have Chris Bond go past Gear fairly soon on their way out, but don't take anything away from young Gear. He's a hot young paddler from Kira. And back in third place we have young Blake Kavanagh from the North Bondi Club. Now, he's only a second-year junior, and I think it's a pretty gutsy performance for him just to be out there in these conditions, David. He's a second-year junior, this young North Bondi kid, and he's out there battling it out in third place with these top seniors. Mate, they make them tough over in the eastern suburbs way. Those of us that live over near those beaches, we know how tough it can be. But certainly conditions today not ideal for those that aren't experienced in them. But we've seen some quite notable performances, and really it's no place for the faint-hearted out there at the moment on these single skis as they go round the cans and they're about to head on the way back in. Okay, and as we stated before, the positions haven't really changed, except that we can see that Ian Rawlings from Southport, South Australia, has moved up into third place. He's gone past young Blake Kavanagh, and so he's dropped back into fourth place. But it is still Gear from Kira in first place. He's turned the first orange can, and Chris Bond is making a move now on the inside. If he can go past him here on the inside, he'll get that first run out of the can.
and it's a good performance from Bond. He's a very, very determined competitor. I remember David in the 1985 Australian Championships. He'd been knocking on the door for many, many years. He crossed the line about a length or two clear. He knelt on the ground and threw his paddle into the air and kissed the sand, and he was an unbelievably relieved competitor to finally crack his first national title, and one of the most motivated and determined competitors I've ever seen. And he's almost in the lead here. In fact, he may have taken the lead, and Gear has dropped back into second place, and we have the Southport South Australia competitor in third place, and Kavanagh still in fourth.
Well, they're strung out a bit, but as they've now all turned around and heading back towards the beach, and the big sets are starting to roll in behind them, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens when they try and come down these huge waves and come down the mine into the sandbank, and whether they can maintain their form all the way through the white water back to the beach, because that's the business end of the race. It's all right to be leading where they are at the moment, but as we know, anyone can catch one of these waves that are coming up, and there's 3 or 4 of them getting onto a wave at the moment, trying to out the back. Oh, are they going to get it or not?
Yes, two of them have come right through from out the back. It's Gear from Kira on a wave. It's Blake Kavanagh is also on a wave, and I can't quite pick up the third competitor at this stage. He's put his right rudder, and he's in fact pulled off the wave. Now that's a funny sort of a move. That was Gun of Evoker, and I don't know why he did that. Maybe didn't want to risk his gear, but we can see Blake Kavanagh taking that whitewash. He's still hanging on, and what a top performance. He's just come off, and young Blake Kavanagh could have come through, just about to win that.
Both of them have come off,
and everyone else is off that wave, and so it's still anyone's race. Out the back, off the picture at this stage, is Chris Bond, who's come through on a wave, and if he can hold this through to the beach, he was unlucky to miss the first wave, and it looks like he might come through and take this out. Chris Bond is on this wave. Here he is in picture. Big finish from Chris Bond. Determination written all over his face, and he's going to come through in about another 10 or so strokes, come through and take out the Open Single Ski Championship at Freshwater Beach, and a top performance, and he gives a bit of a wave to the crowd. He was unlucky when one of the other waves that all the others got on, he missed it down his end, and Chris Bond has come through on the one behind after they've all fallen off and taken out first place.
And also just coming through, another competitor who's just come through to finish second.
That's right, it's Rawlings from South Australia, it looks like. And here we have a replay on screen of the young junior, Blake Kavanagh from North Bondi. Top effort to stay on as long as he did. You can see here he looks like he's gone, but he's still hanging on. Now his left cheek had been hanging completely off the ski, but he stayed on, and he's come through, and then he's just hit at the last second, and very unfortunate. What a performance it would have been from him, David, to come through and win as a second-year junior in the open single ski.
What a great performance, though, from Chris Bond from the entrance, because it's only half an hour ago that he teamed with Peter Lang to take out the double ski. So a great double from him, the double and single ski events here today, and all the experience in the world. Missed the first wave, but just like a hooker in rugby league or rugby union football, just came straight down the centre, and that was it. Now we go to the, well, really the main event of the day. It's the pentathlon, and what a great field we've got lined up from that. We've got number 1 Guy Leach from Manly, 2 Craig Riddington from Manly, 3 Dean Koski from Swansea Belmont, 4 Darren Goldsworthy from Southport, that's in South Australia, 5 Darren Mercer from Thirroul, 6 Greg Naylor from City of Perth, 7 Tim McDermott from North Narrabeen, and 8 is Peter Noble from the entrance. And in the first event, the sprint, I think you'll find that Mercer will be closest to camera, and the 2 Manly teammates, Riddington and Leach, will be the next 2. So you can see the beach, trying to find the competitors. They've got to be down there somewhere. And the sea at the moment is all clear, and this is an incredible event. What happens is we've got 5 events. They start with a run, and then we go through successive events, and each competitor has a 60, well, the competitors have 60-second gaps between each event.
Here they are. They're ready for the start, and there we have a first false start. These guys are fairly towy to get away.
Well, Leach and Riddington, you can tell in the light blue caps.
That's right. And you can also see Noble there from the entrance. He's quite quick across the beach. The white cap with the 2 blue stripes. There's quite a good picture of them from behind. You can see Riddington and Leach in the centre as they move up towards the line. And they're away. And we can see, looks like Darren Mercer on this side is doing well. On the other side is Koski from Swansea. There's also the North Narrabeen competitor, and it's Leach. It's Leach, like Leach has come across the line in last place, and we'll have the official placings there. Now these guys have 60 seconds to get down to the beach and get ready for the next event, which is the ski leg. 60 seconds from the moment the first competitor crosses the line until the start of the next leg. So they're down there busying themselves ready for the next leg.
Well, obviously from the looks of that, Guy Leach is glad that they don't have long sprints in Ironman and these triathlon competitions.
That's right, David. It's amazing that he is such an excellent runner over long distances, but on the short course, as you saw there, he finished last in that beach sprint. And I guess that's an example of you have guys with fast twitch fibre and slow twitch fibre, and he's an excellent long course runner, but not a short course.
We're about to see them get off on the first of these ski sections. Now, the surf that we've seen so far today, we've seen quite a few paddlers get halfway and finish up with the ski back at the beach and left stranded out trying to catch a wave back themselves, and we've seen quite a bit of that in all of the competition during the day. Are these fellows so experienced that that won't happen to them, or is the beach on the surfing conditions going to be too strong for them as well?
Well, that's I think it's you'll find that they've just started the ski leg now, and it's going to be hard for the most experienced competitors of all out there today, and they're doing well. You can see Craig Rinnington in the centre is doing well, along with Guy Leach, both of them with the sky blue caps from Manly. You can see they've only hit small waves. It's already knocking them around. They're being swept down to the northern end of the beach, and you can see over on the far left looks like could be Darren Mercer there, and also in the centre Craig Rinnington from the Manly Club doing well. Hit a wave there, bounced over the top, and there's one off already. Can't pick who that is exactly yet. There's one off, there's two off, and they're waiting for a wave, and one is through, 2, 3 just through, and they'll be going for it now. Looks like Greg Naylor of the City of Perth has come through in front, and it might be Peter Noble, and yes, no, Noble's off as well, and yes, I think it's looks like the City of Perth competitor Greg Naylor is the only one out on the red ski at this stage. A bit hard to pick up their cap from here, but I think it's the City of Perth competitor Greg Naylor, City of Perth competitor Greg Naylor, who's taken the lead, and the rest of them are just getting out over those waves now.
Well, they've waited for the small set really to come in so that they made their move, and it was quite obvious that they were sitting back and waiting for the big set to come through. The surf boats over to the northern end of the beach were having great difficulties, and now you see Naylor's got a good break of about 20 or so metres, so obviously the run back into the beach is going to be very important too, Mick. With this big surf you can get one wave, and that can take you from last to first so quickly.
That's exactly right. You'll find they'll turn the cans out here and they can pick up a wave. These waves are breaking 300 and 400 metres out to sea today. It's quite incredible surf out here. All the competitors are out, and in fact this is one of the few races we've seen so far today where all the competitors have actually got out through the break. But it's Naylor with a big break now. He must be 30 or 40 metres in front. It looks like we've got Koski from Swansea, McDermott from North Narrabeen in the white cap is also doing well, and Craig Rinnington and Guy Leach are also coming up through the pack. But at this stage, there's definitely the City of Perth competitor Greg Naylor just about coming up to the black and white can and turning around it now. As you can see, there's a nice overhead shot of the other competitors. They're back now about 20 or 30 metres behind, and David, before too long you'll see the red ski of Naylor turn and head back into the wave area, and let's hope a big set comes up, because this is going to be exciting stuff.
Well, the thing about the big set you're talking about, Mick, earlier today when we've seen some of the heats and semi-finals of the ski legs, we've seen competitors get a long way in front and be dashed with the big set. Do they wait for the bigger set, or do they wait for one which they find themselves most comfortable at catching?
Oh, that's right. No, as you say, they can't afford to do it in the final, and here comes a wave. And there's quite a few of them on it. It's a huge wave as they're coming through from right at the back. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them on it. We've got Goldsworthy from South Australia, I think, is on it. And hard to pick up their caps at this stage, but there's 4 of them on it. And it's started to pick up now. Now, can they hold it? It's going to break down behind them. Now, they've got this wave a fair way out, so it looks like that one of them's off already.
There's one gone.
Oh, and the ski's gone up in the air.
There's 2 gone, Naylor's gone, 3 gone. There's only the one on the southern end of the beach who's still going. So that's 3.
Craig Rinnington.
I think it's Craig Rinnington.
It's Craig Rinnington of Manly. Rinnington from Manly is the only one that's held that wave. And we saw Goldsworthy go off, Koski go off. Well, okay, on the second wave, we can't see him on screen at this stage. Now we can see Rideau paddling in towards the shore, and he's just about to hit the sand. He's got to finish between the 2 orange flags. So he's just hitting the sand now, and he'll drag his ski up and across between the two orange flags. And the race still isn't finished yet. He's got to get across the line with his ski.
Now, what happens to these other competitors? Do they have to take their skis and drag them back, or are they out altogether?
No, that's right. Now, what happens, you can see Goldsworthy from South Australia, plus some of the other competitors will fallen off. They've got to reclaim their skis, take it back out between the two orange flags, and take them across again before they're awarded with the points for finishing. Now, we see that Noble's come across the line in second place, I think, and Tim McDermott has also come in, and we can see there on screen Craig Rinnington sucking them in. There we have Noble the entrance now, just crossing the line, in screen now.
And where's Guy Leach gone to?
Guy Leach actually fell off that wave as well, and he's crossed the line just in front of that.
I might just explain that what happens in this pentathlon is that it's not necessarily a progressive event. What happens is that they get so many points for each event, and it's a bit like the pentathlon in the Olympic Games, in that you get points for each event from first to eighth, and that's the way you keep going with the 60-second break now. So at this stage, one would think that Riddington would be holding a commanding lead.
That's
and
right.
Of course, he's an outstanding swimmer, so one would think after the swim leg that Craig Riddington would be well in front.
Okay, that's right. Now, we've got to remember that Riddo did finish second last in the first event, which was the beach sprint, and Guy Leach, in fact, finished last in that. And so they got a lot of points in those, and it is the competitor with the lowest points that wins the event. Now, Riddington has picked up a first place in the ski, so that's put him back up near the lead. We're waiting for the official results to come through of each legs, and we'll give you the updates on point scores as we go along. Can't be more than about 10 seconds rest to go now before they start the swim, and these guys are going to need every bit of rest they can because they're going to be diving under some big waves out the back here now. And this is probably the hardest one of the lot, is diving down under these waves. They're still breaking about 8 or 10 feet at the moment. Tide's very low, and they're lining up ready to go now, and it won't be long before they're underway. And there they go. Okay, we see Darren Mercer waiting well. They've dived in. He's in the centre with a white cap and the one blue stripe from Thurul. Over on the left, you can see Peter Noble, the entrance, is doing well. Also, Craig Rinnington waiting well, and Guy Leach right behind him. Two of them in the sky blue cap. And these guys are running hard across the bank, trying to gain as much distance through the wave before they start swimming. Now, it's not a long swim here today, David. They'll be just passing the break and going around one of the orange cans, and then they're likely to be able to get away nearly as soon as they've turned the can and come back to the beach. So it'll give them a bit of a rest.
Well, originally, of course, they were going to have the long swim, the same as the ski league, all the way out and all the way back, and under today's conditions, it'd be a good 800-metre swim, and that certainly would have favoured Riddington, who's a great long-distance swimmer.
That's
but
right.
Certainly with even now, though, it's going to take a great deal of determination and plenty of good lungs to get out and back very quickly, because that surf really is bringing them up.
That's right. You can see Peter Noble now from the entrance is in front. He's just gone under a wave. Now he might be able to yes, you can just see he sneaked up under that one, and the others were hit a little bit harder, but they're starting to close the gap on him now. He's probably not the strongest swimmer in the field, but as you saw, he's an excellent wader, and he's gone up under another wave, and there's 1, 2, 3, nearly most of the field is through that wave, and there is a big set coming out the back, but I think they're clear of these sets now, and I think what you'll find in a race like this, David, also is that these guys will try and save themselves just a little bit, because if they turn the can and they're completely out of wind, they could do themselves some damage and get themselves in trouble, because they're going to have to really hang on to the wind.
Well, the can's, of course, a long way to the south of where they are at the moment, so they've got a fair swim to even get to the can to turn round, and yet Noble is on the extreme northern end at the moment, so even though he's a long way in front, the others could well get the angle and finish up beating him to the can anyway.
Yes, that's correct, and you can see they've just changed their direction now. They're just heading across to the right, and you can see now, as David has just said, they're almost swimming right angles to the beach, so one of the reasons they've gone so far north is because that's a slightly easier alley for them to swim out through the break, and once they've gone out through the waves, a little bit of more of a rip up this end, and the water is moving faster out off the bank in that end, and they have then turned right angles to come across to the can. You can't see the can yet, but they're heading straight for it. Now, Noble's been unlucky being up the other end. You can see him in screen there. He was leading, and now he's dropped back to about third or fourth place, and in front with the white cap and the red and the blue stripe, the green stripe, and that'll be Darren Goldsworthy from Southport. He's a former Australian junior Ironman champion, and right on his heels is Craig Rinnington. Now, Craig Rinnington will be the best swimmer in the field, so I'd expect to see him catch Goldsworthy by the time they get to the can. You can see Rinnington going now. Now, he's stroking very fast, and he's catching up to Goldsworthy with every stroke. On his outside, can't pick up the cap at this stage, but the third place getter just coming into the cans. Could be, yes, it's Guy Leach. Up there also is Mercer. and they come around the can. Oh, they've no trouble getting around that can. Craig Riddington in a bit of spot of bother, and Darren Mercer you can see there as well. They're coming around, and it's still Goldsworthy in front. Craig Riddington in second place. Darren Mercer right behind them. And here's a wave, and look at the size of this one. They've gone down it, and Riddington went down it. So did Goldsworthy, and they've disappeared in the wash. I doubt if anyone will come up out of this one. What a wave. Can't see a side of anyone at this stage. Incredible wave. They've gone down it. It was a determined effort from these guys to actually even attempt to go down it. Mercer and Leach were the two that went down it. So was Craig Riddington. And you can see now that's Darren Mercer, the closest to our screen here. And on his other side is, that looks like Guy Leach. He's waiting there for a wave now. Backstroking, waiting for a wave. And there he is in the centre of the screen now. Naylor is also doing well. Guy Leach backstroke in the centre of the screen, waiting for a wave. Darren Goldsworthy not far behind them. Craig Riddington also up there. Okay, Guy Leach, you can see him in front. He's about halfway in through the wave area, and all of a sudden we've got it's flattened out. So these guys in a 10 or 12 foot surf could be faced with the situation of swimming all the way to the beach. But you can see there's Guy Leach now. He's waiting for a wave, and he should be able to pull over this one. And if he can get onto this, it should take him in. Yes, there he is. He's a good surfer, this guy. And he'll take this right through to the beach, I'd say. And right next to him is just out of screen. Mercer is also on the same wave. So this is going to be an incredible finish as they run up the beach. They'll get ready to stand at any stage. Up. And it's Mercer on the left and Leach on the right. Mercer's just ahead of him. He's 10 yards in front, but Leach isn't giving up. They want these points. And it's Mercer's crossed the line in front. Leach right behind him. And that's given 1 point there to Mercer, 2 points to Leach. And these guys needed those points because, as you saw before, Leach finished well back in the beach sprint and midfield in the ski. Okay, coming up also now in the next section is Goldsworthy, just crossed the line, and Tim McDermott now coming up. You can see Tim McDermott here on screen with a white cap. He's only a junior competitor. It's a top ebb from him. Peter Noble, the early leader from the entrance club, right on screen with a white cap and the 2 blue stripes, just crossing the line. He had a great start, but was disadvantaged and ending up the other end of the area when they had to swim back. Okay, these guys now are going into the board leg. Remembering the minute rest started from when the first competitor crossed the line. So these guys, some of them just crossing the line a second ago, are probably only to get 20 or 30 seconds rest at the tops. And they're just about ready now for the start of the board race. Lining up now, you can see Darren Goldsworthy there, Craig Riddington on the yellow board next to him. And they're really sucking the wind in now. These guys are tired and they've got to go out and do it again with only a minute's rest or less. Moving into the water now, the gun's just about ready to go. There's Goldsworthy in screen, you can see Koski, and off they go. And there's Leach on the pink board on the top end of your screen. Started well, Darren Mercer on the white board and the white cap and the 1 blue stripe in the centre. And Craig Riddington down here. Looks like Craig Riddington's got the best of the start. He's on the yellow board, the sky blue cap and the sky blue costumes, and he's off to a good start. And on his side is it's either Noble or Goldsworthy. And also now Mercer. Mercer's now starting to show his prowess as a board paddler. These guys have got a long way to go though before they even get through the break, and it's still Riddington about half a length in front. And they've come over another wave each. It's still tightly bunched, the whole field are together. Riddington now electing to bounce over that wave. And what he did was he leaned back, got the nose in the air and bounced over that wave, and all the others elected to roll. And it's given Riddington about a couple of lengths lead. Now that one broke fairly hard, and you see he had to go under it. And look at this wave coming in front of them. It's a huge one. And they've all had to roll underneath it. It's going to be very difficult to get out on these boards.
Well, they've got another one coming straight up too, Mick, and it's not going to be easy to get out. He was telling me earlier in the day that some of these events could finish up being a lottery because of the fact that the big sets come and then all of a sudden as we saw at the end of the swim leg, the surf just flattened out altogether. But yet if the surf had flattened out initially and someone from out the back had got one of the big sets, they could have gone from last to first, and that could easily happen even in this particular leg, for instance.
That's exactly right. You can see with these guys here, at least David, the waves are breaking evenly. At least they're pretty even across the beach, and it's not breaking for some guys and not breaking for others. So it's a pretty even break across the beach, but the tide at the moment is very low, and you can see it's coming down that sandbank consistently. And the guys now, I've seen half a break, and they're going for it. They're sprinting down this side. You can see, looks like Naylor from City of Perth, and he's just gone under that wave, and Reddington as well. Now they've snuck under that, and Mercer's got the best of it. You can see him there on the whiteboard. He's had the best of the break, and will he get out just over this one? He might just sneak over the top. You can see it coming, and there's a big set behind it as well.
Well, one got over. That was Craig Reddington, wasn't it?
No, Darren Mercer.
Oh, Mercer's got through,
and he's doing very well. And he's just gone under this one as well. It's a big wave, and it's broken on the rest of it.
Well, there's one lost, one board's gone, two boards are gone.
And now that's Dean Koski from Swansea Belmont has just broken his board in half, David.
Well, here we are coming back towards the beach. There's a green board, half of which is back on the beach at the moment. The other half, which is about to come back, and a rather disconsolate Koski is coming back. A pink board's on its way back into the beach, and at the moment we can see Mercer. He's almost out to the tanker, which is about 2 miles off the sea, and the rest of them are in his wake.
That's right, and yeah, what a learn. You can see it looks like you can see the broken board there. It's in screen at the moment. He'd be very upset. These craft are worth something like $600, and you know, it's a Coolite board. They're racing craft, and he's going to be pretty upset. Now we can see looks like Darren Mercer, and have a look at the lead he's got. That is absolutely phenomenal. He's got to be something like...
well, the rest of them would need binoculars to see him at the moment. He's that far in front.
Oh, he must be something like 100 or 150 metres in front. And that just goes to show you about the surf conditions here today. When he had a go, or what happened was when that set came through, he decided that he'd have a go at it, and he just snuck over the top. You saw those couple of waves come through, and he just snuck over the top of them. And the others got wiped out, and it washed them back. And he's now set up a lead of like 150 metres. He could have a baked dinner at the Cairns and still come in front, I think, in this one, David.
Well, the thing is, of course, it's taken on first, second, third, fourth, all the way through to 8, and that's how the points are allocated. But of course, in the modern pentathlon and the Olympic Games, it's taken on time. So, say this was the modern pentathlon of the Olympics, Mercer would almost set up an unassailable lead because he's so far in front of the rest. But because they're taking only on firsts and seconds and so on, he can probably afford to take a good rest at the moment and save himself for the last leg, so that he can come away with the victory.
Yes, and I guess that's one of the exact reasons, David, that they have chosen to not go on times, because with the variable of the surf and all these type of events, a guy can sneak out like Mercer and end up so far in front and really get an unrealistic lead out of it because of the fact that he's just snuck over a wave. But we can see coming up after that, we've got Craig Reddington is up there as well, but Mercer in centre screen now has turned, he's on his way home. Now you can see he's taking it fairly easy because he knows he's got a big lead, and there's no use him expending himself. He may as well take it fairly comfortably. He'll still take out the first points, but then he's still got the beach flags to finish with after this one.
And the big thing is he's got the full 60 seconds to get his breath back.
That's exactly right. Okay, and that's an extra interesting point too, because he's going to come back in, and we've got the ski leg, I'm sorry, still to come after this, and he'll hit the beach, and the other guys mightn't get any rest at all. He might in fact be more than 60 seconds in front, which means that when he hits the beach, the clock starts, and the other competitors might be more than 60 seconds behind, and he might actually start the ski leg before the others even hit the beach. So I'll be interested to see just how far he is in front.
Well, of course, the waves are starting to roll in again now too. A couple of big sets about to come through, and this could also make a big difference on the result of this board leg.
And it's also interesting information just to come to hand that Darren Goldsworthy and Guy Leach will both be disqualified for not competing in the board league. And look at the wave that Mercer's on. He's picked up about a 10-foot wave, and look at the size of that wave behind him. It's got to be a 10-foot of whitewater, but it's a nice rolling wave, and he's held it perfectly. He's held it perfectly. He's right down the back of the board, and lucky it was rolling out the back, and once he's got to the inside break, his wave was already broken, and he's got down the back, ripped onto the rails. I reckon his fingers would have just about gone through the board then trying to hang on to that wave, and he'll come in, and he may well win this event by more than a minute, David. He's just about got another 50 yards to go before he hits the flag. He'll cross the line, and then the clock starts, and these guys have, the rest of the team, the crew haven't even hit the wave area yet.
Well, here we go. Mercer's about to cross. and come through the flags, and the others are still paddling way out the back, and they've only just really got to the area where they may, if they're lucky, catch a wave, similar to Darren Mercer. Now, Mercer's through now.
Mercer's crossed the line. And the clock will start now, and here's a wave at the back. Greg Naylor's on the red board, and he's on it as well from City of Perth, and Craig Riddington on the yellow board with a sky blue cap. Now Riddington's surfing the wave. He's taken a right and a left turn, and he's enjoying himself out there. Craig Riddington, I think he's attempting to win the board display as well as the Malibu leg of the pentathlon. He's laid down now, he's down the back of the board, and it's crunched him. And has he made it? We've just lost him out of the picture. Yes, and he's popped out. It's good surfing from Riddington, and also Naylor. Riddington was completely covered by that whitewash then, but he held onto it and it's come right through. And now these guys will have to race up between the orange flags, and they'll be trying to get the second and third points here. Riddington sprinting across now. They're neck and neck coming up, across the line, and I'd give it to Naylor. I'd say Naylor was about maybe a half a length ahead of Riddington there, and he'll take second points. So that's 2 points to Naylor and 3 points to Riddington. So far Riddington has done very well, David. He's finished well back in the beach sprint, but he won the ski. He was up there. Sorry, won the one of the other legs.
He won the ski, and then he finished, what, second or third in the swim?
In the swim.
He's finished
and
second
he's
or third
in
in the board.
So he's up there as well.
The thing is, of course, the flags coming up, the last event, they can't really start that until all of them are there.
That is interesting. Exactly. Yeah, that is right.
It's,
but no, they may not. You know, they may still have to start the event before the last competitor gets there. And I think they will.
It's obviously a problem with having the flags as the last event. You'd almost think that they should have the flags as the first event, because it's now over 90 seconds since Mercer hit the beach, and so it seems that they're going to hold it up until all of the competitors come through. In fact, I still think there's one out the back there, isn't there?
Yes, there is still one competitor left out the back, and I don't think that they'll wait for him. Actually, I think they're just readying themselves now, and they'll start this event any second. They're putting a shirt on now, and we can see it looks like it's Koski of Swansea Belmont on screen now, has just taken one of the waves, and he held a nice bounce, and he's going to be running up, and will he make it in time? He's about 100 yards to the flags. He'll have to really sprint up the beach, otherwise they're going to start the beach flags without him. And you can see on screen now we've got the 5 competitors ready for the flags. Okay. Down now. What they'll do is they give them a heads down, and up they go. And we've got a false start there. That'll give the competitors a bit of a rest. They probably did that on purpose, actually, to give themselves a rest. And they're off. And diving for a flag, and let's see who's missed out. Craig Riddington's looking around for a flag, and it looks like there was one too many flags. Oh, of course. Now, what happened there, David, is they would have set the course, assuming that everyone would have completed the board leg. And what's happened was there was too many flags, and we haven't had any of the competitors knocked out. So what they'll have to do, they'll have one more run through now.
Well, I suppose that's fair enough. I mean, they've set the 8 flags, and if they're good enough to come back, but as we've already been told, Guy Leach and Goldsworthy have been disqualified for failing to complete the ski league properly.
That's right.
And so we've still got, now we're down to 5. I think we're going to have 5 back in. Koski's run up the beach and tried to get a start. Well, all he didn't even go to the start line to go into the flags. He's just run straight at the beach and grabbed the flag that was left over. So they have eliminated one, Koski.
Okay, and it was interesting there to see Craig Riddington too. He was looking around, there was another flag next to him. He was probably thinking if he picked up 2, he might get an extra point. So, but no such luck, and another false start there. Second false start. Craig Riddington looking very jumpy at this stage. They're off, and Noble's up very well. Riddington's quite well in the centre, and also Mercer's got a flag. And it looks like McDermott of Greg Naylor from City of Perth has missed out. He's the first one to go out the flags. Okay, we're left now with Peter Noble of the entrance on the top of your screen. We've got on the white cap of Tim McDermott, who is the junior competitor. There you can see Craig Riddington, second from the bottom of your screen with a sky blue cap, and next to him the winner of the Nutrigrain Ironman series, Darren Mercer, showing his incredible versatility. Another couple of false starts. These guys very towy. Okay, Peter Noble up easily first. Looks like Craig Riddington's in trouble. And yes, Craig Riddington not even bothering to dive. He's gone out, but he's still taking points for 4th then. And he's done quite well. He's not a fast competitor on the beach, so he obviously suffers in the sprint and the flags. So Craig Riddington out, but what an accomplished Ironman this guy's been, David, over the years. He's had many places in Australian titles, and finished equal 3rd in the Nutrigrain Ironman series this year, and what a versatile competitor.
Well, we've got him coming up later on in the day, of course, in some more competition, but let's have a look at the three competitors left, and they're off again, and this is going to be tight. Who's missed out? McDermott, I think.
It's McDermott, that's right. McDermott's missed out, and we're left. It'll be fought out, the final two, where they shake hands. We fought out between Darren Mercer from the Thurul Club. You can see him with the one blue stripe, and next to him from the entrance, with the two blue stripes on the white cap, is Peter Noble.
Well, this will be interesting because I would think, just roughly calculating the points at the moment, Riddington and Mercer are the two, and it'll be very interesting to see which one wins. If Mercer can win this, he'd just about take the competition.
I think that's about right. And Noble's up better, but Mercer looks like he might be running him down, but no, Noble's come through with it, done a somersault as he grabbed the flag. So a good winner there in the beach flags to Peter Noble from the entrance, and in second place as they shake hands is Darren Mercer, winner of the Nutri-Grain Ironman series this year, beating Guy Leach, and what an amazing performer he is.
Well, there we are. There are the points, and of course the lowest number of points first and the higher number of points going down in the order there. So Darren Mercer, the winner with 13. Tim McDermott, he was the surprise because he'd been polling well all through the events and didn't finish really all that highly in any event. He just kept on finishing third and fourth, and those points being picked up regularly throughout the competition were enough for him to take second just in front of Craig Riddington, nail a fourth, and then back in the field Newman, Koski, Leach, and also Goldsworthy. So Darren Mercer, a great victory there, and certainly he's had a magnificent summer so far.
Yes, there's no doubt about that. He's done a whole lot of things right. And now we have confirmation of the single ski final, which was run earlier this afternoon, I'm sorry. Chris Bond of the entrance taking our first place. Ian Rawlings of Southport, South Australia in second, and young Gear from Kira in Queensland in third place.
Well, there's a man who really has had a great Australia Day. Not only has he been the president of the Freshwater Club for many years and done a magnificent job as always as the organiser of this carnival, the 11th time in fact this carnival's been run, but Ray Brown today was distinguished by being given the Order of Australia. Well done, Ray Brown, and I'm certain everyone in surfing would agree with that order. The final thing that we have to give you though, just before we do go, is the Sun Festival Trophy for the top club at this year's Freshwater Carnival. Bondi first with 58, Manly second with 40, Freshwater next 27, North Cronulla 21, and North Narrabeen 16. On behalf of us all, goodbye.